We are moving from Kolkata, West Bengal to Kalka via Howrah Kalka Netaji Express. We will take the path from Shimla to Manali. This is the convenient circuit. Otherwise we can move from Manali to Shimla also, but that is difficult terrain. So we have chosen this circuit for Tabo, Kaza, Manali. Now we will move from Kalka to Shimla via the Kalka Shimla Shivalik Express, that is the toy train. Shimla to Manali circuit is convenient way because there is a slow gradual increase in altitude which prevents us from altitude sickness. So the scenic view from above the mountains while going through this toy train is mesmerizing. As you can see, it's a fine experience to travel beside the cut of the mountains. After coming through many tunnels, we are now reaching Shimla. Here we have reached Shimla. The view is wonderful. Now we are moving upwards towards the roads of Shimla. Here we have checked into a hotel. Here the hotels offer the networking of hotels where all the places we visit will be conducted by them only. The tour package will be conducted by them only. So you have to take it, otherwise it is difficult to get a single hotel at this place. Evening at Shimla is a jolly experience. The mountains look like as if some LED lights are decorated throughout its body. An evening stroll by the Shimla Mall Road is a must-have experience to do. The Mall Road consists of lots of brightened up shops and various food delicacies, street foods. It is a crowded place. Everyone who is visiting here walks through the evening and the picturesque view is wonderful. By the end of the Mall Road, there is a large space which consists of a statue of the founder of Shimla, then a church. Here we can get different types of food items, street foods. Next day morning, we are moving from Shimla to Sarahan via Narkanda. Here we have halted at a place beneath the pine trees, a viewpoint. Next we are moving towards Narkanda via places like Kufri, Thiog, Matiana. The weather is rainy here. It's beautiful. We have arrived at Narkanda where we have taken lunch at a place. Now we are moving towards Sarahan. By the evening we have moved to Sarahan. Here the sunlight disappears generally after 7:30 p.m. At higher altitudes like this only happens, that the sunlight disappears at a very late time, around 8 p.m. The view is mesmerizing. The clouds are at the same level as of our eyesight. We can see the peaks of Kailash in North District's Kailash from here. Snow-capped mountain peak we can see. Next day morning we are moving to Chitkul village from Sarahan. But first we are going to the Bhimkali temple, which is a Sati pit. It is a pilgrimage for Hindus because it is believed that the ears of Sati has fallen here. While moving towards Chitkul, we came across a waterfall spot. The waterfall is falling through 3 different channels and mixing into one single place. Now we have halted at the Karcham Dam, which is the confluence of the river Satluj and river Baspa. It generates nearly 1000 megawatt hydroelectric power, having 300 megawatt units each. Now we are moving towards Sangla via places like Jiori, Tapri. Here we have halted in the small town of Sangla, which is covered by mountains in all its sides. We have taken coffee. There are lots of dogs here, hill areas. So you can see it is the snow-capped mountains are covering this small town on all its sides. Now we are closer to the Chitkul village, but as this is a protected village, tourists cannot stay here, so we have chosen to stay at the outskirts of Chitkul. Here we have reached by evening. It is raining here. Next day, we have chosen to see the river Baspa, which is closer by our stay. The river Baspa flows through this area surrounded by mountains. It contains pebble along its side. It is a voluminous water body. After having breakfast, we will move towards Kalpa via Reckong. While going, we can see the road is covered with mist and clouds. Now we have reached Reckong, which is the headquarters of Kinnaur district. It is also a small town surrounded by snow-capped mountains. So we have reached Kalpa. We have chosen to stay in a hotel with mountain view. The view is mesmerizing. It's so serene with the blue skies, feathery clouds, snow-capped mountains and greenery with apple trees there. See the Mount Kinnaur-Kailash peak. At night also it looks marvelous. The sun rays penetrating through the clouds gives a serene look. Apple trees are cultivated throughout these areas, whose maturing time is on October time. Kalpa is situated at an altitude of about 3000 meters from the sea level on the old Hindustan-Tibet road at a distance of 260 km from Shimla. Earlier it was the district headquarters of Kinnaur district of Himachal Pradesh. It has all the characteristics of a heritage village. The finest view of Mount Kinnaur-Kailash mountain can be reached from here, about 6000 meters above from sea level. After breakfast, today we will visit nearby Rogi village, but first we will visit the suicide point near Kalpa. You can see the steep mountains and it is very dangerous cliff at a higher altitude. Now we have reached the Rogi village where there is a temple. It's a Narayana temple, very beautiful with carvings. The mountain can be seen from this temple because it's at the margin of the mountain. Here we can have a view of Kinnauri people and local apple drinks. It's covered with pine forests. The Rogi village is covered with thick pine forests and are famous for apricots and apples. Local people work here by breaking stones. Again we are coming back to Kalpa hotel stay. The roads built across the slopes of the mountains by cutting the rocks is an astonishing achievement of human race used for transportation purpose. While returning back to Kalpa hotel stay, we visited Chini village, which consists of a monastery called Chini Monastery. can see the view of locals selling teas and street foods. Their livelihood is by means of agriculture and selling these street food products. While returning, first we had the lunch and then went to the hotel to stay overnight there. Next morning we are moving from Kalpa towards Tabo via Nako. First we have to make a permit at Dubling checkpost. Then we can see the terrain changes gradually and we need jackets because the air is cool and the speed of the wind is also high. Now we have come to a place called Khab. Here we can see the confluence of two rivers, Satluj and Spiti. These roads are maintained by Border Roads Organization. The road in Khab is very beautiful where you can take still pictures. The terrain is so beautiful with the ridged mountains. Now we are moving towards Nako. As you can see, as we have left Kalpa, the vegetation here decreases, altitude increases, the weather is dry, cool, the speed of wind is large, the mountains are covered with stones, it's a semi-arid region. Vegetation is very less. This high altitude, we get less rainfall, nearly no rainfall. So we have reached Nako where we have taken the lunch and headed for Nako lake, which is a beautiful lake situated in the center of the Nako village. The oxygen levels in these regions are quite low. For that reason one can carry inhaler, and for altitude sickness you can carry medicines like Diamox. We are heading towards Tabo. In between, if anyone wants, you can visit Gui village, which is also the last Indian village on the Indo-Tibetan border. Here we can visit naturally preserved mummy of a Buddhist monk which is about 600 years old. But we have chosen not to go there because by evening there are lots of stone falls in the road which can block our way. Here you can see many sandstone formations in between, which is created by wind by bringing sand and depositing on the slopes of the mountains. We can see it's a semi-arid region with no trace of vegetation. The oxygen levels decrease gradually as we increase in altitude. The night and day temperatures also are very lower compared to the other lower altitude regions. As you can see, the sandstone formations are marvelous, a good hillscape. Here flows the pristine river Spiti, which divides the mountains and makes Spiti Valley. The journey is spectacular early in the morning as the rising sun touches the snowy peaks with crimson and gold light. By the evening we have reached Tabo. As it is late evening, so night has arrived and the view is spectacular. You can capture astrophotography here. The sky is crystal clear even at the evening, and you can see here different variations of shades of the sky at different moments of time. Next day morning we are headed towards Kaza via Dhankar. But before leaving, we will visit Tabo monastery, which is an old monastery. It consists of two parts, a new part and a old part. is a big monastery with many monks residing under the monastery. This is the old part of the monastery which houses many small deities and wall paintings inside the monastery. In our way, we have halted to a viewpoint which is very nearby to the Spiti river, where we can dip our legs in the Spiti river. The river is very cool. The blue light of the sky reflecting it gives a mesmerizing look. It's a fine experience to walk along the banks of this river. Next, we have arrived at the Dhankar monastery. From here, we can reach the top of the mountain by trekking, where we can reach a Dhankar lake. It about takes 2 to 3 hours to go and return back. Just beside the monastery is a cafe from where we can get a very clear and beautiful view of the mountain. Here we can take lunch in this cafe. Lunch, we can take variety of dishes like Tibetan food or Himachali dish. A closer look to the sandstone formations. It's a marvelous look of geographical importance. While moving towards Kaza, the scenic beauty is marvelous. We halted at a place where the snow-capped, snow-rigged mountains can be viewed. It's very suitable for photography. We reached Kaza by that evening. Next day, we started for local sightseeing. First we visited Mud village, which is a spectacular village. Snow-capped mountains and great scenic beauty. It's a small village landlocked between these mountains. The view of Mud village at night is also spectacular. You can take astrophotography during the night also if you stay overnight at Mud village. In Mud village we had a chance to see the snow falling nearby to us. While returning back to Kaza, we had a photography with the locals and had a tea there. Then we returned back to Kaza for night stay. Next day, we are headed towards the local sightseeing of Kaza like Hikim, Komik, Langza, Ki, Kibar. We have reached Hikim, which is at an altitude of 14,570 feet. It is the world's highest. Post office is located here in the village of Hikim. From here we can send letters to our native addresses, which may reach after few weeks. We have reached Comic village, which is at an altitude of about 15,500 feet. It is considered as the highest village of the world, connected by motorable road. It also has a monastery here. As the weather here is too much dry, we should take water sips at regular intervals and apply sunscreen to our face. Next is another small village place of Langza. Here we can see a large Buddhist idol placed at the edge of the mountain. Scenic beauty here is marvelous, with a large idol of Buddha located at the edge of the mountain with an altitude of nearly 14,300 feet. Now we are moving towards Skipper village. In between we get to see the view of Key monastery, which will come later while returning from Kibber. We have reached at the Kibber village, which once used to be the highest village. This village is quite large compared to other villages, and it is situated amidst the natural beauty of mountains and dry vegetation. Leaving from Kibber, we had a visit at the Chicham Bridge, which is considered as the highest bridge in Asia. This bridge is approximately located at an altitude above 13,000 feet. It is marvelously engineered using some cantilever technology. With the help of these metal rods, it is hanging. After coming from Chicham, we visited the Key monastery, which is a very large monastery and very popular monastery. The view of the mountains and the river from this monastery is breathtaking. It is a very popular monastery among the Buddhists and was empowered by Dalai Lama. You have to close the shoes here, then we can enter in the monastery, where there is a large picture of the Dalai Lama and many different Buddhist idols. It is very well decorated inside, where Buddhists perform chants and prayers. Again we are returning back to Kaza, which is situated at an altitude of about 12,000 feet. This is the Kaza market where we will stay overnight in our hotel. We went to a cafe where we had the dinner. There are Tibetan food delicacies like momo, thentuk and thukpa. Next day we are heading towards the last stage of our journey to Manali via Kunzum Pass. First we reached Losar to have a breakfast there. The weather is very foggy and the weather may change abruptly at any time. There is a small amount of snowfall occurring here. The road of Kunzum Pass is very dangerous and the rock may fall at any moment at that place. Due to snowfall, the Kunzum Pass is blocked almost all the time a year. So we have to be very careful while driving through the Kunzum Pass. Kunzum Pass generally connects Lahore to Spiti Valley. It also connects Kaza to Manali. It is an 80-kilometer long stretch filled with dangerous roads and snowfall throughout the year. Only a few months are open so tourists can pass through it because it is the shortest route from Kaza to Manali. Journey through a road with snow alongside is a quite marvelous experience. Looks like ice creams are filled up everywhere. You want to eat the snow, play with it. If we have visited this valley, it looks like we have covered Kashmir, Ladakh. It has a combination of different types of valleys. It looks like a paradise on earth. Now we are heading towards Kunzum Mata Mandir, located at the center of Kunzum Pass. It is a famous temple here. Snow is falling. Kunzum Mata temple. The idol looks like some Tibetan style. Snow-capped mountains. Walking on the snow is a great experience. The hillscape picturesque is marvelous. Wow, wonderful. After this, if anyone wishes, he can visit Chandratal Lake, which is having a importance in Mahabharata also. But we have to be careful if we visit Chandratal because the terrain is very difficult and snowfall occurs maximum time, which blocks the roads and tourists may get stuck there. Next we have halted to a place called Batal. Here we can see river Chenab flowing with its all might. We have done lunch in the nearby dhaba, which is famous Chacha Chachi dhaba. Lots of tourists halt here. The food is good. After covering the long stretch of Kunzum Pass, which took 12 to 14 hours, now we are heading towards Manali through Rohtang Pass, beneath which there is the famous Atal Tunnel. It is the world's longest highway tunnel, above 10,000 feet, which is about 9.02 kilometers in length. We are closer to Manali via Solang Valley, which is a beautiful valley covered with thick pine forests and local vegetation. Rain is falling here, which makes the picturesque beautiful. It's Manali, a beautiful hill station and holiday destination located at nearly 7,000 feet above sea level. The jam here is tremendous. Next day we'll just do a little bit sightseeing of Manali. Though Manali is a beautiful place, suitable for trekking activities, bungee jumping, ropeways, but still we have decided to relax here, and we have visited in a nearby temple, a famous temple of Harimba temple. Harimba is wife of Bhim from Mahabharata, and her son's Ghatotkacha temple also can be seen here. You can see here beautiful yaks and rabbits. In the evening we have a walk through the Manali mall where we eat sweet corn and some local fruits, plum, green apples, and dinner. Next day morning we started for our return journey from Manali to Kalka via Kullu. After 14 hours journey we boarded train from Kalka to Howrah, Kolkata. Here is a list of things that you should carry with you. The best time to visit Spiti Valley is from May to October. The total package cost varies season to season and person to person.